Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So if you're new to this channel, hi, I'm Rebecca, but if you're already subscribed, welcome back. So ever since I entered university, the number one question that I've always been receiving from the people around me is, how is IMU? So a lot of people will ask me things like, is IMU really good? How are the lecturers? How are the students over there? What are your thoughts about studying in IMU? So I thought that it'd be interesting for me to share my thoughts to you guys about the things I like and I don't like about studying in IMU. Another reason why I'm making this video is because I want you guys to know the reality of studying in IMU. IMU is a prestigious university in Malaysia and it's quite well known throughout the whole country. So as prestigious as it may seem to be, obviously there are flaws as well. So flaws are something that you can't really run away from. I really don't want you guys to think that IMU is just 100% perfect. So if anybody tells you that, they're obviously lying to you. Everything that I'll be sharing is based on me alone, so it's my personal thoughts, my personal feelings, and my personal experience. So you might be able to relate to it when you come into IMU, or you might not be able to relate to it. So it's something very personal. Without any further ado, let's get started. The first thing that I like about studying in IMU is it's very rare for classes to be cancelled. Yes, you heard that right. It's super rare. Ever since I started my journey in IMU, which was back in 2017 up to now, I had only one class that was cancelled, but it was rescheduled the same evening. So yeah, it's very rare for IMU to cancel any class, and even if they do cancel, they try to replace it as soon as possible. It wouldn't be on a weekend like on a Saturday, and they wouldn't push it to like 2 to 3 weeks after the initial class as well. That is something I'm really grateful for. I heard from a lot of my friends who come from different universities that their classes are always cancelled, and it's always cancelled last minute, and that's something that I hate. To me, time is money and time is everything. I wouldn't like it if my university randomly cancel classes. It's something that I'll be very pissed about. So that's something I'm really grateful for. Other than the fact that the classes are rarely cancelled, their lectures are really punctual as well, and if they're starting at like 10:15, they're gonna start at 10:15, or not, they'll wait like 2 minutes, 10:18 for the students to come. So the second thing I like about studying in IMU is the lecturers are very well qualified and they're super helpful. I'm not sure if this applies to other courses as well, but for FIS and medicine, I would say that 90% of the lecturers are good teachers. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the balance 10% of the lecturers are not well qualified lecturers. They are all super smart. They know their stuff, you know. Being a lecturer doesn't automatically mean that you can be someone who is very good in teaching. It's not that they don't know their stuff. They know their stuff, but they just can't teach. In medical school, our lectures are only for an hour. All of the lecturers will try their best to explain as clearly as possible to make the students understand, and I would say at the end of each lecture, I would have gotten about 80% of the whole lecture. So that's really good. I just have to go back to refresh my memory and to further understand the 20%. So I would say most of the lectures given are really good, except the ones who just read from the slides. I really don't like lecturers who just read from the slide. But I would say only 1 or 2 lecturers will read from the slide. So after each lecture, the lecturers will ask if anybody has any question, and you can meet them immediately, or not, you can also email them. The lecturers are normally responsive to your email. You just have to give them like a day or 2 for them to reply your email, because there are a lot of students who will be asking questions. So I would say the lecturers who are best at replying emails are the ones from pathology, physiology, and pharmacology. Love them, man. In general, the lecturers that I have met are super helpful and they're super nice to the students. Besides from being nice, well qualified, or helpful, the lecturers are also super encouraging. After going through medical school for about 3 years now, I would say that there are about 5 lecturers who I'm really thankful for, and you know that they will be there for you no matter what, and they will try their best to help you get through medical school and to help you achieve your goals. But obviously there will be some lecturers who's like, this is your duty as a student, you have to find your own way out. So up to now, I've only talked about the good things about the lecturers. So I bet you guys will be thinking like, what about the grumpy lecturers? Like, are there any grumpy lecturers in IMU? Hell yes! Grumpy lecturers in IMU are just the minority. So the third thing I like about studying in IMU is the very well planned syllabus for clinical skills. I think one of the reasons why our syllabus is very comprehensive is because IMU prepares the students to go abroad. I heard from one senior that when she went abroad to continue her medical journey, there are some stuff that they haven't learned, and we have already learned it in our first and second year. So that shows that our syllabus is quite complete. So for medical students in IMU, we will have at least one clinical session per week, and one session is for 2 hours. Before each class, they will already prepare for us some videos to watch beforehand so that we will know what we are getting ourselves into and to kind of have an idea of what we are going to learn that day. Obviously, in order for you to have a good clinical skills session, the lectures have to be good. I would say that most of the lectures we got for clinical skills sessions are really good as well. So they are really helpful, and they really groom you and teach you the proper way of being in a clinical session. So normally for each clinical skills session, we are subdivided into multiple small groups. So I would say there will be about 6 students per group. Everyone will have the chance to do at least something per class, so you wouldn't feel left out. Also, there are plenty of empty wards and room for you to practice, so you can just book any rooms or wards and then just practice with your friends. So that's something very useful because IMU is really small, but they provided a lot of empty rooms for us to practice our clinical skills. Regarding practicing for clinical skills, I would say that we never run out of supplies. One procedure that requires a lot of things is venipuncture. Nurses constantly replenish our stocks, and there are no such thing as like we are out of stock. Besides having adequate supply, having good lecturers, obviously you will need someone who is very good to help you practice, right? And that would be your simulated patients. I would say that IMU hires a lot of really good simulated patients. Like, their acting is so on point. When I did my first history taking in medical school, I got a patient who complained of like knee pain, and he's the breadwinner of the family and how he has to support his wife who was paralyzed. First, I didn't know he was a simulated patient. I don't know what was going on in my mind. I was like, is this a real case or is this a fake case? So I really had no idea because that was our first class. I got so emotionally affected because his acting was super good. That just proves to me how good our simulated patient is, and super nice. Moving on to the second segment of the video, which is the things that I don't like about studying in IMU, or the things that I wish that it could have been better. The first thing that I don't like about studying in IMU is regarding the scholarship opportunities. Basically, IMU offers really less scholarships. There are a lot of potential students out there who are qualified to receive a scholarship, and since we are paying so much and since IMU is earning so much from our education, I feel that it's only fair for them to at least give us more scholarship opportunities. So to study medicine, IMU only provide 1 scholarship per intake. There's only 2 intakes per year, so that makes it 2 scholarships per year. Okay, so the scholarship that they offer for medical students are full scholarships. Either you get it or you don't. I was thinking, if they really can't afford to give us a lot of full scholarships, why don't give us like partial scholarships? So they do offer partial scholarships to other courses, but not medicine, and I have no idea why. You guys might be thinking to yourself, like, why is there a need for IMU to provide scholarships when the students are mostly well off or wealthy? Because of the fact that they are in IMU, which is one of the most expensive university to study medicine, means that they are well off, right? And sadly to say, it's not true. There are a lot of like super rich students in university, but there are a lot of us who are like just in the middle class, and we're just like comfortable but not like super rich, and we really need that scholarship. This is not because we purposely want to choose a private university, but it's more of like the public university doesn't want us. So this is just something that I want you guys to know, and it doesn't mean that just because we are in like a super fancy university means that we are super well off. We need that scholarship as well. The second thing that I don't like about studying in IMU is the orientation program for the new medical students. To be completely honest with you guys about the orientation program for new medical students, and it was a complete shock for me. We're just telling you my experience about it, and I obviously did not like it at all. If you are someone who is from IMU and you are completely supportive of the orientation program, you might just want to skip this segment because I don't want you to get offended. Well, you might stay, up to you. You choose. The reason why I don't like the orientation program for new medical students in IMU is because it's wild, nasty, sexual, inappropriate. I have no idea why is it that way in the first place. But don't get me wrong, I'm not completely blaming IMU for it. This is because the orientation program is mainly planned by the students itself. So normally the orientation program is about 2 weeks, and it starts from the day you enter medical school. You'll be doing tons of activities together, like games, outing, some finale family night, so things like that. There are a lot of stuff that's going on for that 2 weeks. And also the common activity they do is to hang out at Mama until like super late. So in general, the reason why you have an orientation is because you want to get to know the system of the place that you're getting yourself into, and you kind of want to bond with like your future classmates or your future best friends. But I would say that their method of bonding is really weird. What I mean by it's very sexual is that everything that they do is connected to sexual stuff, you know. Your group names are like super sexual. The drama skit that you prepare is like super sexual. Sometimes I really wonder what's the point of doing that, you know. I do get that sometimes you do like sexual jokes with your friends who are really close to you. I do that as well, but it's not something that you have to say on the stage, you know, or to just like publicize it. At first I just joined for the first 3 days. After that 3 days, I just completely separated myself from them because I feel very uncomfortable. In general, the whole orientation is super dirty and like sexual, but I wouldn't say that every group is like that. So I would say that this is quite disappointing for me because as a new medical student, I want to meet new people. I want to see how is everything like. When I went for this orientation, it's really not my type, and I don't stand for this kind of things. If you are a new medical student who will be coming to IMU, you might enjoy it or you might not. So if you are someone who's like me, you might not enjoy it and you might feel uncomfortable. And I just want you to know that it's completely fine for you to feel that way. You don't have to fit in just like everyone else. You don't even have to try to make friends with friends who make you feel uncomfortable. You will find your clique when you start your class, so don't worry about it. You do you. You don't have to try to fit in. Don't be afraid to say no. Stand up for your rights, and no one is able to force you to do anything. If you feel that you're uncomfortable, just leave. Just leave. We have come to the end of the video. I really hope you enjoy my thoughts on what I like and what I don't like about studying in IMU. So thank you so much for watching my video today. Don't forget to click the subscribe button down below and give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!